So when we're talking about careers, I'm not shading anybody that is in pursuit of a career. By no means. It's just I've already pursued mine. I've already done it. I have a whole downstairs in my house. I have a whole section of it that is just basically a museum for my career. Oh my God, Erica, please come on Wednesday. I've done it. So, like, pass it on. Pass it on. I don't have anything else I need to do career-wise. There is nobody I need to impress. There is no pinnacle I need to reach. Thank you, Erica. There is no aspiration that I am looking to achieve based on the field of the entertainment industry. Do you understand? These people keep running my name because they're trying to achieve something, and they're doing so through malice. And that is going to come back on them by no effort of my own. When you live in that, you will live in that. Marquise, you want to tour the museum? Well, there's a huge rainstorm going on right now, so I've got some time. Welcome. So these are some of the old flyers. Yay! That's what's up, Old Art Soul. See you on see you on Wednesday. So these are some of my flyers from shows that I produced in New York. When I was there, Death of the Diva was my first one-woman show. It's Complicated, Mo Better Woo, Smart, Funny, and Black. This was when it was actually a stand-up show that Mark Lamont Hill and I was producing. The Spark was a show that I had on, what's it called? On AOL. I used to do a music showcase called Spectrum Funk at SOBs. I had a show called Diva Speak TV that I used to do on YouTube. Diva Works of Art is where I used to sell my prints and hand-painted bags. And Things I Learned This Week was a web series that I had. So this is a VHS tape of my performance on Def Poetry Jam in 2002. So this was when it aired. This is the skirt I wore on Def Poetry Jam. I sold Smart, Funny, and Black to True TV at one point in time, and my co-producer Jimmy Fox got me these kicks as in honor of Smart, Funny, and Black. See the colors, right? She's on my MTV. My friend Sherwin got this shirt made for me when I got hired on MTV2 as an MTV2 VJ. Small Doses. This is my podcast that I did for 8 years. Niggas Got Me Fucked Up is my hit record. Okay. Illustrious League. This is a apparel line that I put out during COVID in 2020. I learned very quickly that I had absolutely no desire to do an apparel line. But shout out to these lovely ladies who came through to model for me after the person I hired to put together the photo shoot did an absolute terrible job. I'm missing my latest book from this actually, but these are some of the books that I've written. Small Doses is my first book. Actually, my first book is Young Skin, Wise Mind, Old Soul. I self-published this book, and if you look at the back of it, some of the folks that I got that gave me quotes: Curtis Blow, Nas, Che Hodari Coker, MC Light. Oh my God, why can't I hold this book? What is going on? What enchantment is in this book? Robin D.G. Kelly and Chuck Creekmer of allhiphop.com. So yeah, I self-published this in, what was that, 2002? Let's see. 2005. There you go. My second book was Small Doses, and Small Doses is a book that I actually wrote after I was doing the podcast for, I think, 2 years or maybe even just 1 year. And folks were just like, we need the stuff that you're talking about on the podcast. Like, we need that in like book form. So I started writing it. It was literally the most difficult piece of work I've ever had to do. And I wrote a 150,000 word memoir. And then What Would the Ancestors Say is the book that I wrote last year based on the one woman show of the same name. And here's just a notebook of Views from Amanda Lamb, which was my web series that I was doing for a year, just to really, try and use the knowledge that I was learning about geopolitics. And then this is when I did a photo shoot for, I think this was for King Magazine, y'all. Like, legs. This is me, like, trying to be sexy without looking like a hoe. I don't know if I was successful. This was my radio show that I did for 2 years after I got really, really fortunate because I was lucky enough to land this right before the actors strike, sorry. So where a lot of my fellow actors were really struggling during the strike, I was very, very fortunate because I was able to pivot and do radio. So, once upon a time, people used to definitely be like, oh my God, Amanda, like you do too many things. You don't have any focus. Well, thank goodness I do a lot of things because it allowed me to be able to pivot when I needed to. So, this is a playbill from when I was a part of the Kennedy Center District Comedy Festival. This is a throwback flyer for when I was performing at Princeton University. And I was performing with WEEN, which is the Women's Entertainment Empowerment Network. They were an organization that was put together by women who used to be my friends, but really showed that they are not my friends at all when the whole black media conglomerates of the Griot, Essence, etc. started shitting on me. And these broads, literally people that I've spent birthdays with, like these people who I really, really thought were my friends, just left me hanging. So shout out to Felicia and Christy. Y'all was on some bullshit. I thought you were my sisters. This is a flyer from Caroline's. Performing at Caroline's was like a really, really, really big deal because as a comic, when Caroline's existed in New York City, it was no joke to get to be on Caroline's and headline. So I got to headline Caroline's twice. I sold out all my shows. And actually, that was how I ended up getting the special fight. That's why I ended up eventually getting the special on HBO. It started with Jesse Collins, who's an executive producer who actually produces the Super Bowl halftime show, the Grammys, the BET Awards, etc. Good friend of mine. And at the time, we weren't even like that tight, but he was like in a meeting with them at HBO and he said to them, how do you not have how are you not planning on doing a special with Amanda Seales? The person in charge of specials, Nina, she didn't even know who I was. He was like, she's literally on your network. Like, what are you talking about? She's in season 3 of a show that's a hit black show on your network. Anywho, that planted a seed. Then the reps who she sends out to scout, they came to my show at Caroline's and they said that they had never seen someone get a standing ovation in the middle of a show. Yes! So that was that. What else? This is my jersey from when I was in the Celebrity All-Star Game. Hilarious! These are interviews from when I was on the radio at Sirius Satellite Radio. There we go, Sirius. Where's my, see, I was on Sirius Satellite Radio. These are all interviews from years of being on Sirius Satellite Radio. Here's a book that I made at one point of my artwork at the time. See, Diva Works of Art. So these are some of my paintings. And I compiled them in a little book. I actually didn't know they were at the show. So this is just some of my artwork here. Y'all take a look at that. Oh, my homegirl Aurora. Detroit Flair. That man said I did about an hour on Safari's video. Safari is endowed. This is some fan art that someone made for me for my Unlikable tour. So when I got, when there was a smear campaign against me in the top of 2004, coincidentally after I met Kamala, I was like getting really attacked online, and I really was like struggling because I at that time I hadn't gone through like the full ego death that I needed to go through. Nonetheless, I've gone through it, so thank goodness I'm on the other side of it. But Cypher Sounds actually called me out the blue, and I'm very blessed because my ancestors show up, like they will literally take the form of people on this earth and just like come to me and tell me what to do as angels. And that day it was Cypher. I don't never talk to Cypher Sounds, but one of my ancestors, whether it was one of my ancestors or someone from the future, they came and embodied Cypher and had Cypher call me. And Cypher was like, you need to just shake this off, and you need to make sure that you use what they're giving you in your content. Don't let what they're doing take away from you. Let it fortify you. So I said, you right. They saying I'm unlikable. Boom. I'm naming my tour The Unlikable Tour. So, and right now I just dropped I want me to keep going. Okay, so this is my costume. This is my outfit that I wore for my HBO comedy special, so you can see it right there. This was made by my friend Sharufa at the time. We ended up falling out over money. What can you do? And this was a cool like program, like fanzine that HBO made as a promo item for my show. So that was pretty cool. And this is a picture of the billboard on Sunset Boulevard for I Be Knowin', which is just like, I mean, I'm still just like flabbergasted. Also because I designed this poster. So there's that. Here's Insecure. These are my shoes that Tiffany wore at her baby shower. Here are some of our scripts from over the season. This was my table card on the last table read that we did. Here's a ticket from the first episode, the premiere for the first season. Here's some pictures from the party that they had for the release party, the premiere party. There's me and my lovely husband, Derek, aka Wade Elaine Marcus. Here's some photos of me and my bestie, Kiki, from these HBO parties that they would have every year, HBO Emmy parties. Jill Scott was riding with us one year, so there we go, me, Jilly from Philly, and Kiki. My mom made this for me when I got nominated for an NAACP award. This is like a little puzzle, and these are just some of like the promo items that they would like give away at the end of the season. Like people on the staff would give away, like they would get stuff made. So here's like a hat for the Dunes. And I think this is from season 4, Scully. And here's a hat also from season 4. So my brother and me, actually, let's go to the reel first. So this was a little game that they had played when I was a guest on the reel before I was even on the show. And I had to like hold up a sign to say if I approved or denied something. And here's a picture of me in the cast. Shout out to my booski, Adrian, and my other booski, Jeannie. Oh, there's the other NAACP awards. This is a picture my mom sent me of the TV of me being interviewed by this sister Erica on ABC, and she was such a lovely chick, so shout out to her wherever she is. And here's some just original stuff from my brother and me. This was the caps that they gave us for the final episode. So like at the end of the season, they gave us all these hats, they gave us all these shirts. So these are the original shirts. They finally put it on a DVD. Here's a picture of me in the Nickelodeon studios when I was 12. And then they also gave us these little commemorative plaques. Here's a picture of me with Arthur and Jimmy. So with Goo and Alfie on my trampoline in my backyard. There you go. Jumping, having a good time. Baby Amanda. Yeah, this is Jimmy. So this was like a little pool party that we were having at their apartment complex where they were staying, because remember they were from LA, and Jimmy pushed my mother in the pool. You know, we actually later fought. We literally fought backstage about it. No, I'm not kidding. Like, we literally went to blows backstage. Like, we went to the back of the sound stage, and Arthur was like, all right, go. And we like fought quietly. So that was a time. Jordy is like panting crazy because there's a storm going on and the thunder scares him. So down here we've got, so these are like my various albums that I've put out: Technicolor Lover, Madam Monochrome, Spandex Rhymes and Soul, Foreplay, Life Experience. That was the For the Love single. So I put out all of this stuff myself. I literally took a loan out from Bank of America in order to do so. This is a photo from the dressing room at MTV2. Notice it's on a Polaroid. These are all just like VIP tags from various events that I've attended and worked and performed in. And these are my IDs from many years. Many years. Even since middle school, I was working, y'all. Okay? Support a real one. And Get Your Life was my web series that I created and wrote and produced, which is something I'm really proud of. You can watch it on my Patreon. And this is my collection of the Source and Double XL. So I have a really good, solid collection. If you want me to continue, the museum continues upstairs to my younger years. So let me know, because again, got some time. So if you're just joining, people have been running this line that Amanda Seales' career is struggling. And I just wanted to really plant the flag that you can't struggle at a career that you're not pursuing. Okay? I have spent many years in Hollywood, and I've been super duper lucky to have been able to perform in so many different ways and in so many different spaces. And it's not easy by any means. and it requires a lot of discipline. So up here is where we have my library of my youth. And this is where the discipline really, really started, right? Like, I was a kid that was involved in so many things from a young age. So here I am as a gymnast. Look, my mom took pictures of my medals. Like, I was not playing around when it came to gymnastics. It was a very big deal. I was playing violin when I was in 4th grade. Shout out to Lindsay Mayrow in the picture with me. These are like some of my essays that I wrote. Like, I think this is it is with pleasure that we are presenting your child with the Student of the Month for May. Yay! And my mom actually found, that I had gotten most likely to succeed in 5th grade. Like, she found the certificate where the teacher teachers presented me a certificate for being most likely to succeed in 5th grade, which I find hilarious. I started doing performing and like shows and stuff when I was 8. This is a show I did called Reppies, and it was like a whole thing. It was like these dinosaurs that had come back from like it was Palm Lake Elementary. They had come back from like the dead, and they were like trying to like they came that's what it is. They were like brought back to life, and then they came to Earth and were like, what the hell is going on here? And the dances were like, we are the Reppies, this is the Reppie Rap. It took us millions of years before we woke from our nap. So groove to the music and let your fingers snap, cause we are the Reppies, this is the Reppie Rap. My name is Tessa. They like me the best. Woo! All right, so y'all know that my mother is from Grenada. So this is a picture of my family when they were younger. That's my mom. People love to say that my family was white, that my mother is white, which is just like literally insane. So here is my black mother and her black siblings with her black parents in Grenada. So that's Alan, Jerry, Grandpa Picky, Grandma Sybil, Pampy, Uncle Pickles, my mom, and Auntie Glenna, rest in peace. So so that's them. It's my mom and my Uncle Cosmos, rest in peace. Nobody is better than Uncle Cosmos ever in the world. So just want to remind you of that. This is my mom and her siblings in front of the Odds and Ends truck, which is that was my family's truck, because they had a store in Tongue called Odds and Ends. And fun fact, I actually started my store, Amandaland Exports, because when I moved to Nyack, there's a lot of witches in Nyack, and I had lunch with some witches, and I was like, I'm so tired of selling tickets. I can't stand it. It's killing me. And they were like, well, what does your grandmother do? And I was like, what do you mean what my grandmother do? What they got to do with anything? And they said, well, whatever your grandmother did is what you should be doing. Like, it skips a generation. And so I was like, well, my grandmother had a shop called Odds and Ends. And they were like, oh, well, you're a merchant. So, like, you could fight that or you could lean in. And I was like, fine. Because if I'm being honest, I was always selling shit as a kid. I was always designing shit. I was like making coloring books, and then we'd go to Kinko's and print them, and I would sell them at the gym. Like, so when I was a gymnast, so I was always doing that shit. Now look at this craziness. Here is a picture of me wearing one of these Grenada, one of these America propaganda shirts. When Grenada was invaded by America, the United States made these shirts, and it says, "Thank America. Thank you for liberating Grenada." Very angry. Adorbs. Adorbs. Adorbs Nation! So I just showed you all like the portrait of my family in Grenada. So this was my version of said portrait when I was in 4th grade. So, yep. I feel like it's a very similar likeness. Funnily enough, Kendall, who's right here, I was shipping something to Grenada the other day, and this woman was like, are you from Morris? And I said, yes. She's like, are you a SEALs? And I said, yes. And she was like, do you have a cousin named Kendall? Yes. She was like, I used to be with Kendall. So, shout out. And okay, so I was in theater in high school, and my high school's theater program was no joke. Dr. Phillips High School is one of the greatest high schools in the history of the world. And we just used to win all sorts of stuff. Like, look at the ensemble acting, Critics' Choice, Main Stage, 1999, Superior for, what was that? For monologues, ensemble acting. Arts Week was a really big deal to get selected for Arts Week. Like 1,500 students would audition for like every genre, like every discipline. And I auditioned for acting. And so I got selected to go down to Miami with 19 other performers to perform, to do like these intensive classes for a week. I really struggled. And I really struggled because I had no support when I was going down. Like, my friends were jealous that I got picked and they didn't. My teacher was low-key, like, I don't know what her deal was. I feel like she felt some type of way that I got picked and the other students didn't also get picked. But nonetheless, like, I just kind of went down there and had to figure it out. And I really, really struggled. Nonetheless, shout out to Brandon Victor Dixon, who was down there with me and is still one of my closest friends to this day, which is also one of the reasons why when people say things like Amanda Seales isn't likable, I'm like, I have like 20-year friendships. Like, what are you talking about? I also think it's funny when people say Amanda Seales isn't likable, because I love this picture. I love this picture. It's me, Gabby, Tracy, Nia, Lauren, and Melody Asani. And what I love about this picture is that we are having such a grand old time around each other, because we would have a grand old time around each other. You see, the greats fuck with me because I'm one of the greats. And I think it's really important to really know your worth. And your worth is your worth is always based on what you have put into what you do. So I hope this tour has really given y'all a bit more of a context of like what I've put in. And this is just a morsel, right? Because it's one thing for me to show you like final products. It's another thing for me to show you all of the writing that I've done, all of the drawing that I've done, all of the recording that I've done, all of the shooting that I've done. Like, I want to just shout out all of my artists, all of my creatives out here who are just pining away and think that no one's paying attention. However, you are refining your craft. You are solidifying your style. And no one can take that from you. Even when they try to steal it, even when they try to impersonate you, even when they fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Columbus your joint. You know the authenticity of your work. They cannot keep it up. They can't. You can't keep up fakeness. We know this. It's a fact. So you have to stay with it. Stay at it. Keep going. I have kept going, and now it has led me into other spaces, which is why you can catch me every second Wednesday in Harlem at Comedy in Harlem, where I do my show, Radical Rhythms Experience, where we combine music and comedy and energy work. I am working to now do everything I can to inform as many people, to engage with as many people, to educate as many people about their own power. I have no desire to have power. What am I going to do with that? All of us have power. And so I want to use my time and my talents to remind us of the power that we all possess. And so the link is right here. Remember, if you are not in the tri-state area, you can't make it to Harlem, you can also watch on YouTube Amanda Seales TV. That'll be at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, August 12th. So I look forward to sharing that space with you guys. I've really enjoyed sharing this space with you. I did not come on here initially to do an entire tour of my life. Nonetheless, here we are. And, we keep going. We keep going. We keep creating. We keep breathing. And we keep smiling. Keep shining. Knowing you can always count on me. For sure. That's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be by your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me for sure. So, everyone have a good evening. I just dropped a new line of shirts. Okay, I just dropped a new capsule. So, we got I'm Not Hostile, I'm Just Passionate. We've also got Not Today, Not the One. We've also got Marquise, you can send a badge. We've also got this new shirt that I designed says unliked by, and all of these shirts come in multiple colors. Wait, you have your child singing Psyop before school? That's right. Lock in, okay? Lock in. Psyop. So tomorrow I am dropping the music video / short film for my song Stardust. So I hope you enjoy it. And it also features my man. He's in there. So I hope you enjoy that. Because you know y'all love some tea. God damn it, y'all love some tea. So take a sip. Take a sip. Okay. Everyone have a great evening. Hope to see you in Harlem next Wednesday. Everyone have a great evening. Hope to see you in Harlem next Wednesday. Mwah.